I am so glad you are here. It is Divine Saturday in my world, so let's talk pendulums. I have here one from the lovely Sarah Cura. This one is made with ruby zoisite and a little jade heart, which I would tend to think of as the thing I would use for the pendulum side, but this one's reversible. You could do either. So it's kind of fancy, fancier stones. You could go with sterling silver and gorgeous little labradorite, see little flashes of color, or perhaps some tiger's eye with a little gemstone on top. Or you could go simple, just rudimentary. Here's some clear quartz, rough cut, easy peasy. Is it really clear quartz? Well, according to the test I found online, yes. Does that mean it's not like compressed clear quartz from shavings when it was cut? I have no idea. But here's your basic entry level pendulum. So, how do pendulums work? What are they doing? Well, when we ask people who are curious about pendulums in the shop if they want to take one for a test drive, what we ask them to do is hold the pendulum. Some people like to put the left hand underneath or the receiving hand underneath. Some don't. Hold onto the pendulum, close your eyes, think about a yes you would love to hear, something wonderful, a beautiful yes, and do that for just a little while, and then open your eyes and see how it's moving. Stop it. And now close your eyes again and think about a no, a horrible, awful, rotten, no good, very bad no. And see how it's moving. It's not moving as much for me. And there's a little bit of a spin to it, so I can exaggerate, as well as a little bit of a moving this way instead of this way, which is what it was doing when it was positive. So what's happening? Well, my muscles are a little tired, right? From that's a lot of time to hold your arm in a static position if you're not used to it. So your muscles are going to move a little bit, and your subconscious is going to play a role in how they move. So you can then ask the pendulum, which is a bit like asking yourself and your higher power, are you the right pendulum for me? Would you be a good pendulum for me to buy? Open your eyes and see what it says. I would have to say probably no in this case. Move on to the next pendulum. Perhaps the labradorite would work better. I'm going to go through the whole process all over again. But once I've done that and I found a yes pendulum, I found one that I work well with, that gives me reliable answers, then I can start asking it other yes/no questions. Since it's Valentine's Day, is this true love? Will this relationship stand the test of time? Should I marry this person? Should I have children with this person? These are all yes/no questions you can ask. You can also ask questions that are more practical, though, like, did I leave my keys in my bedroom? And it can genuinely help you pinpoint where you left something. You just continue to ask those yes/no questions. You got a yes to, are my keys in my bedroom? Okay. You walk in, you don't see them. Are they under my bed? Are they in my nightstand? Just keep asking yes/no questions and narrow yourself down. It's also a great way to test the pendulum out, see if pendulums work well for you or not. I can remember even giving my kiddo, when he was quite small, a pendulum. Grade school, he had studied Galileo, and Galileo made some of his early observations scientifically by watching a pendulum lamp swinging in a lecture, because, lectures are not always exciting. And how that led to some of his most important theories and helped us as a society, as a world, grow scientific knowledge and spread that to more people. So there's a great history behind pendulums and a great practice that can be done with pendulums. It's an opportunity for you to talk to parts of yourself that might not get a voice. And if you have a higher power, to speak more directly and clearly with that higher power. That said, give your pendulums a test drive. Don't be afraid to ask to touch them, handle them, hold them, check them out, and make sure they will work well for you before you buy, if you can. If you can't and you can afford to, buy a few pendulums. Doesn't have to be expensive. They can be the basic ones. I mean, basic pendulums tend to cost less than $10, right? So test them all out, choose the best one for you, and then either give the others as gifts to friends or return them if you have to, whatever your budget allows for. So always audition and always check in. And I think you'll have great success with any pendulum that you work with. In the meantime, on behalf of myself and the rest of the staff here at Magus Books and Herbs, thank you so much for being your magical you and doing all of the wonderful magical things you do, including the tiny ones you can do here in social media land, you know them, the likes, etc. In the meantime, have a wonderful, wonderful week and blessed be.